Alright, a lot of people have asked me how to make the Schnapps bottle water pipe, like the one in my POTV1 video. This is my original. It's getting quite old. I'm about to replace it, actually, in this video. So you're going to need a bottle, first off. And one of the best ways to determine if the bottle will work for you is with a quarter. If you're looking at this bottle here to use it, you're going to set the quarter flat on the shoulder. If it mostly sits flat, it's good. This shoulder is barely acceptable. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find an ideal Schnapps bottle to do the video with, but I think this one will work. Bottles with steep slopes like this one, you know, obviously the quarter sits nicely on there and it seems like it would work. But if you try to put a stem in here, obviously the angle at which it's going to go at, it's just not going to work. This is going to be my new bottle. It has a very nice shoulder. The quarter fits mostly flat, very little space around the edges. Obviously it's never going to be completely flat. Some bottles actually have a round flat spot with a seal on it, and they would make a good candidate as well. I've already drilled these. I'll show you the drilling process in a minute. If you're using one with a paper label like this one, if you want to preserve the label through washing and the process of drilling it and everything, you're definitely going to want to take some clear coat and give it a few coats. I've got 3 coats on here and I may add more, I'm not sure. Absolute must-have is going to be a 22mm or 7/8 inch diamond hole drill bit. I'll put a link to these on Amazon. I think you have to buy at least 2 at a time, but it's like 2 for 10 bucks. Normally what I use these for is stonework, where I make these pipes. But I'm off topic now. Obviously you're going to need a down tube. I'll put a link to get these on Amazon as well. You can also get them at your local smoke shops, generally speaking. And very important is rubber grommet. I picked this one up at Lowe's for like $2 maybe. It's very important you get the right size and make sure that it has a pretty robust width here so they can go around your glass. I'm a little concerned that this glass here is very thick and it may not fit well. We'll find out. But the size that you need is a 1 1/8 inch outer diameter and a 5/8 inch inner diameter. It's real important. You can also take your down stem with you. As long as it slides easily to the point where it starts to get wider, it should be good to go. And it should ultimately fit about that far in once it's installed. And obviously you need a drill. And when working with a drill and water at the same time, just be real careful you don't get any water inside the drill, especially if you have a corded drill that's plugged into a wall. That's extra dangerous. But since we're working with a very small stream of water, you should be able to keep control of that pretty well. Now this is very, very important when you're drilling with these bits. You have to keep it wet. Do not drill the glass dry. If you drill it dry, you're going to be breathing in bits of glass, which is terrible for you. You risk getting it in your eyes, and you risk destroying the bit and shattering the glass, etc. So make sure you keep it wet, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You just simply take a bottle of water, and you're going to want it full. And punch a really tiny hole, like a small finishing nail size hole in the lower portion of the bottle, and then you'll be able to set that next to where you're working, which you'll see in a minute. And when you take the lid off, it'll start streaming out. You direct the stream on your cut surface, and that'll keep you sufficiently wet and cool. Loosen your cap, and it should let air in, allowing the water to flow. Make sure it stays wet the whole time. It's really hard to get started, generally. Make sure you're not on the curve. Alright, to put together your water pipe is real simple, no matter what bottle you're using. The grommet, you want to take it and squeeze it, set the first edge in. If it's extra thick glass, you're going to have extra work to get it to fit right. And you're just going to have to keep working it, and then collapse the middle right here to the inside and push in. Be careful you don't knock it all the way inside, because you'll never get it back out of the bottle. Alright, so the outside is on. Like I said, this glass is really thick, especially along the bottom. Be careful you don't cut yourself while doing this. The glass shouldn't be too sharp after having the diamond bit go through it. It tends to sand it relatively smooth, but there can still be dangerous edges. And just carefully push portions in and pull them out, and just keep working it. You can use your down tube a little bit too. Just be careful you don't break the end, because this part of the down tube is very delicate. And there it is. And you're ready to go at that point. I'll also show you in this particular case here, this one was cut more on, there's two curves in it. So in that case, you start with the upper curve, which usually takes really easily. This is thinner glass too. And there you're in. I slipped with the bit on this one. I don't know if you can see it very well, but right here, got grind marks in the glass. It's kind of ugly. I recommend practicing on a bottle that you don't care too much about first. Kind of like this one, because this is really ugly. But as you can see, it works on any of them. And that's pretty much it. You can also help to wet this, or even use just a tiny little petroleum jelly on the inside here, but it could end up messy doing that. But it makes it a little easier to get on sometimes. But even with that thick glass, that's still settled in perfectly. And the nice thing is with a stopper like this, when the stopper is on, if it tips over and rolls around, it's almost certain to not spill, which is a good thing for sure. Anyway, I hope this video helps. I know it's probably not the best video I could have put together, but lots of people have been asking for it, and I really needed to get it out there. And I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe.